Hi, I'm Yamira, and I quit my day job to become La Jefa of Loquita Bath and Body. And here's how I did it. So before Loquita, I was working as a pharmacy tech and a full-time mom also, and a wife. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. It just was veering to an area where it's more, instead of taking care of everybody and taking care of people's health, it was more leaning toward like the money making, and I didn't like that. And I've always been creative, whether it was making stuff or painting or taking pictures. I've always needed a creative outlet, so I was looking for something to do that would get me out of what I was working on. And to me, Loquita is a term that I decided to take back. As a teenager, my dad would tell me, "Estás loquita?" like in a bad way. Like I would tell him, "Dad, I want to go to cosmetology school." He told me, "Estás loquita?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am crazy. Sí, soy loquita, and I'm gonna do what I want to do to make myself happy." So English, Spanish, it doesn't matter. I'm crazy, I'm loquita, and I'm cool with it. When I first started Loquita, I think I started it off as a hobby, not really knowing if it was going to go anywhere or not. And so I started as a hobby and working at the same time. So I was working a full 40-hour schedule. I had my kids where I barely saw them anytime, and I was trying to do this other thing, seeing if maybe that would take off somehow someday. So I created mani bombs, which are little bombs that are for your hands. And at the time that I was selling the mani bombs, I was also making nail polish. And I've always loved to paint my nails. So that's how it all started, with nail polish. I saw people selling it and I'm like, I bet I can make it too. And I have ideas for colors. So I did a Jamaica nail polish. I did an horchata nail polish, a salsa verde, salsa roja. And the audience wasn't there, but for the mani bombs, the audience was there for that. And then people loved them so much, and I created them with so much moisture that it would take care of your skin. They said, "Well, why don't you make bath bombs, please? I would love the same recipe you used for this, because I've used bath bombs before, but they always dry out my skin, but your mani bombs are incredible. They're incredibly moisturizing." And that's how the idea started. Okay, I'm gonna make bath bombs, but I didn't want to just make them plain or the same thing that you can buy somewhere else. I wanted to make them something that spoke to me, which was the Latina, which is how the concha idea came, because at the time conchas are very popular. I'm like, okay, I see the concha clips, I see the concha ears, but there's no concha bath bombs. So that's how the concha bath bomb idea came about. And then I started thinking, there's so much inspiration that I can use. There's conchas, pan dulce, and that's how I decided to do the Latina bath bombs. When I started selling them, they were a big hit. And I was selling out within seconds, and I was also working full time. And it got to the point where I realized I couldn't do both. Like, I could not work 40 hours, have my kids, and do this business. It was at a point, I was in a path where I had to choose which one did I want to do. Did I want to just quit my business that I started that was a huge hit and keep working? Or did I want to work just for myself and have a more open schedule? And that's when I decided that I needed to quit my job. So I took this on full time, thinking I'm gonna have time for my kids, thinking I'm gonna have time for myself, and I do my business as well. But that didn't work out that way. I was just working so much on putting out product that I didn't have time to practice self-care for myself and take care of myself. So I knew that I was at the point that I needed to get someone to help me out so that I can practice some self-care for me, so that I can practice what I preach. And then how did I learn? A lot of research. I don't think people realize how much information you have at the tip of your hands with technology, with cell phone, with Google. Google has like an answer for everything. There's so much information out there that people have put out there for recipes on how to make bath bombs, or information about a certain oil or a certain butter. The information is out there for you. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can learn to do anything from the internet. I have a passion for self-care. As a Latina, I feel like you really need to take care of yourself. And it's a thing that your grandmas, your aunts, your moms have been telling you for a long time, que te tienes que cuidar. And we never pay attention, and it always goes over our head or in one ear or out the other. And it's like, you really do need to pay attention to that. And you really do need to cuidarte and take care of yourself and practice self-care, because you need to make sure that you're full to be able to give to others. And I think representation matters, which is why I started to make these products, because I didn't see myself in other products. I didn't see myself in like a popular brand. I didn't see it calling my name, calling my attention, or giving me nostalgia that I love. So that's why I felt like I needed to make this to represent everybody else, to represent all the concha lovers, all the ones that grew up with the sayings like ponte las pilas or sana sana colito de rana. So I feel like social media has definitely given me that sense of community. When I post something and I see the comments and people are like, oh, I love that, or yes queen, or whatever it may be, it definitely feels like you're surrounded by your people. It feels like you're surrounded by your comadres and your friends and la vecina. Like, if that's how it feels like a community, because they're connecting with you, they're commenting, they're liking, and it just makes you feel good.